Welcome to Agoshan Health's OneChart Ambulatory Implementation video. Today's topic, Front Office, Scheduling Meetings. This is part 5 of a 7-part series. The mission of the OneChart project team is to implement a unified EMR that will continue to elevate the exceptional care provided to our patients and surrounding communities by streamlining communications and workflows throughout our organization and enhance patient engagement. Just a reminder, screens are always changing due to the ongoing build. These videos are to help give you an idea of the functionality of your new system, Meditech Expanse. In our videos, we've been covering the 7 types of scheduling. For instance, we've covered the full book, the quick book, group bookings, walk-ins. Today we'll discuss scheduling meetings. Later we will discuss reserve and non-clinical, or the B&V bookings. If you are having difficulty logging in, please contact the team at their email, OneChartPM Core Team. Now, let's go to your desktop and click the Expanse WPL test icon. Please enter your Goshen email and password, then click Sign In. You should be brought to this screen. Please select Ambulatory and then Office Staff. You have been brought to your home screen. As discussed in earlier videos, there are multiple locations that we can often schedule. For instance, Full Book was in Schedule Grid and Patient Summary. The Quick Book was only performed in the Scheduling Grid. We could not do it in the Patient Summary. Group bookings could be performed in the Scheduling Grid. They could make edits or make modifications in both the Scheduling Grid and the Patient Summary sections. The same is true for scheduling a meeting. We have the ability to schedule in the Scheduling Grid, the Patient Summary, and normally if I had a larger screen, I would have an icon up here that says Schedule Meeting. Mine is a smaller screen, however, so Meditech is smart enough to hide it for me. So if I come over here to my black navigation bar, clear to the right, and click on the More button, you can see that Schedule Meeting is right there at the top for me. Depending on the size of your screen, it will move up or down or be seen on this black navigation bar. Let's begin over here, as we always do, with the Scheduling Grid. I'm going to pretend that I have a sales rep coming in today. So I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to click on my lunch hour. If I come across here, I have Full Book, Quick Book, Group Book, Walk-In, and then finally I have the Meeting button. Let's click Meeting. I am now on the Schedule Meeting screen. Let's move through it as we always do, just like we're reading a book, from top to bottom, left to right. So I'm going to enter my meeting. We do have different types of meeting already in here, so I could open this up and look for it by scrolling through, or I could type in part of what I'm looking for. In this instance, I want to put sales rep and lunch. Notice it's not in there yet, but it is. I can enter it as free text. So let's select on the free text, and it opens up a location. I'm going to type in that this is Bristol, and the look ahead functionality brings up my office. Duration, we'll say 30 minutes. Where? We do have different locations in here for lounges, or I can free text in this as well. Comment. And now it's time to add my participants. Let's click on the Add Participant button in the middle of your screen. Since I selected from Dr. First schedule, that doctor is highlighted here, along with the other resources that may be on this schedule. If I wanted to bring in another provider, I could search for that resource. If I want to bring in my colleagues, I need to click on Users, and I'll type them in. I could type out their entire name here, or I could just enter the first three of both the first name and the last name, and it will bring up my colleagues. I'm going to fast forward this and enter all of them off screen. Okay. Through Movie Magic, I've entered all of my participants. If I click on the Participant tab up top here, you can see all of them. This also just happens to be your build team for this contract. Let's go back to new participants. If I have an outside source that I would also like to enter here, I can go to the phone book, and as long as we have it entered in there, I could also search for that entity. At this point, I'm happy with my list, so I'm going to have you click Save in the upper right-hand corner. As we've scrolled down to the bottom, I have the ability to enter a single meeting, one for today, or a series such as your department meetings. It already has today selected for me. If I click on the drop down, it will bring me into my date and time calendar. I'm not as big a fan of all of this, so let's click Cancel. I enjoy using one of the shortcuts of Meditech. Anytime I want a date, I can put in T for today. If I wanted it to be 1 day from now, I could say T+1. I'll put in a space. I do like that noon time, so I'm going to put 12 in there, and this will need to be in military time. So when I hit my Enter key, notice it brings my date and time in there. I do see the conflict button here, which means that someone in this group will have a conflict with this meeting. Let's go up and finish booking it and find out how and why. So if I go up to the top in the blue bar, there is a green button that says Book. Please click Book. I do see that it is Dr. First that is having issues. I happen to know that we built the lunch times as unavailable on the schedules, and that's the problem for the conflict. So in this case, I'm going to come up here and click on Override. If I did not want to override it, I could close this and make my changes and then attempt again. Let's click Override. So we did schedule this for tomorrow. I'm going to come up here to the top and I'm going to change my calendar for tomorrow. And you can see the scheduled meeting. If I wanted to cancel this, I can click on it again, and I have the ability to edit, to view, to cancel, or remove. I'm going to cancel and click Yes, and the meeting has been removed. I'm going to just quickly show you where the other two are again. So if I come in here and I click the More and click Schedule Meeting, for some of you with a larger screen, you'll see it up here at the top. Click Schedule Meeting. And as we were before, it is the same exact scheduling screen. I'll let you play in the system for a little while. Let us know if you're having issues. I'm going to click Cancel right now. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for your time.